Hey folks, Positive Paul here on a Saturday, May 18th, 2019. I want to try to get in, share some thoughts about this RNM supercomputer and try to draw, some comparisons to MK Ultra, trauma-based mind control, implants, and starting off, I don't want to be hard on anybody. But, folks, we cannot have this disinfo continue. We cannot have these frauds coming on YouTube, whether they're mind-controlled or they're bought and paid informants doing a job. I don't care what the deal is, all right? We've got to, get a grip on this stuff because there are millions of people around the globe being subject to some type of targeting and suffering. And if you're getting bad information and you're already in a horrible situation, it's only going to get worse. And that's the goal, all right? The goal is, and for some of us, it's a slog. It's a slow process, all right? They want to see you squirm. We know that. Look, like I said, if they really want to take me out, I guess they could do a hit, but that would be defeating the purpose. But I think actually, in my case, I know I'm under spiritual protection. So, but I got to go back to this guy, Brian, too, all right? Because everybody's, they're citing him as this Mr. Know-It-All in the RNM supercomputer. And look, I tried to track this guy down in 2016. I've been following him for 3 years. When I was in San Diego before he got ran out of there by the psychotics, I tried to track him down. For one, he would rarely have his comment section open. Now, here's one clue that either someone's compromised or they're just a paid agent, all right, or under mind control. Take your pick. It's when you cannot communicate with them. All right. Now, I would leave comments. I would open up dialogues with other people. This is back in 2016, and he would shut down the comment section. So I was unable to see these replies from people I was trying to communicate with. Now, again, hey, maybe the powers that be, can actually make that happen. And it wasn't Brian purposely doing that. But do you get what I'm saying? If you cannot communicate with people, look, this isn't, again, YouTube isn't, for us to be up there and, we're supposed to put out good information and be honest with each other. And if YouTube is an honest platform, why do they shadow ban people? Why do they remove comments? Why do they, what? This is the first clue that something's not right when you see this occur. So Brian's this know-it-all, all right, on the RNM supercomputer. Now, 100% sure he could have been MK Ultra, all right? He understands that. He knows that. He knows that it could go back from birth. In his case, it definitely is. But this is what I'm saying. If you're in this horrible situation and you're just, at your wit's end, is it possible a person might raise the white flag and say, I surrender, I give up, I can't take this targeting anymore, just tell me what I got to do for you guys to leave me alone? Well, of course, all right? Look, we see people sell out every day. This is what I'm saying, like these parents that sold out their children, handing them over to the Luciferians, all right? Letting them get raped, tortured, and all the MK Ultra nonsense. The rituals, everything, all right? And then walk around the rest of their lives acting like it never happened. Well, let's look at this RNM supercomputer. What's it capable of, all right? For one, all right, we're being told that it's being used to modify our behavior. These targets that are being experimented on, all right? They want to figure out how they can modify their behavior, turn them into Manchurian candidates, get them to act out. What's the one thing that I've noticed all real targets All right. And I've pointed out a bunch of them, and some of them I feel they're compromised now, but they say they felt like there was going to be a false flag event concerning them. All right. This is what they were trying to set me up for. Okay. Or get me locked up. You know, who knows what the hell they, you know, had cooking back then, but it's about modifying your behavior. Now, in order to do that, here's what we'll go over, where Brian's probably correct, or at least I believe so. All right. They capture your brainwave pattern. They capture your body resonance signature. And once they gather that, they apparently upload it into this RNM system, okay? And then they start to go on town on you, collecting data, doing stuff that's captured by the computer, and then to be used against you later, all right? Now, he says that once they have identified certain brainwave patterns, okay, now this is stuff where the trauma-based mind control and all that was being done in the 50s and 60s is relevant to what maybe this RNM supercomputer can do, because they terrorize these children. All right, I don't have any recall at all about, you know, what happened to me when I was little. There's just no memory of nothing. But they terrorize these children and, you know, see what those brainwave patterns are. And apparently, and I think this is possible, they can, you know, transmit those certain brainwave patterns, right, in the form of extreme low frequency, and get those emotions to occur, again, make that happen again, all right, to where whatever it was, like, and we know that certain frequencies will make a person angry, all right, will make a person sad, make a person happy, all that's possible. But again, now we're saying this RNM supercomputer is able to modify your behavior by, you know, over time capturing data. And here's the one thing that I think, you know, I don't understand why people don't get this. If you are awake and day, you know, whether, I mean, some of us might work at night, but most of us work during the day. If you're at a job, or if you're just out, if you're being hit by an external signal, folks, you're gonna feel that. All right. If you don't, then you must not be human. Okay. Now, when you're in your awake hours, all right, depending on what you're doing, you're in a high alpha state or a low beta. Now, one of the things that he says is correct is, yes, they can shoot, let's say this is what they were doing to me in 2013-14. I only realized this after the fact, because most of what we as TIs come to understand is always in hindsight. But they were, and this is from the implant, okay? I would be at my job. I was leasing apartments, writing up leases, and I would be overcome with drowsiness, like just, well, the implant was emitting, I assume, a low theta wave, all right? And it was just, you know, I couldn't keep my eyes open. So all that's possible. But again, all right, I know it was from my implant, not this supercomputer. Now, they get you when you're sleeping, all right? Look, we know when a lot of this stuff takes place, all right, it's when you're asleep, because you're a sitting duck in one spot. Now, what he does say is correct. We know timing and location. So this is what I'm saying. The RNM system, yes, it exists. I'm sure it does. But, you know, is this thing running at Mach speed and it's able to modify, you know? One of the things that they were able to take away from Montauk, I believe, is how we understand as targets that unfortunately, all right, most of our first responders, the police, the fire people, they're the ones that, believe it or not, all right, they're they have to be on board with this targeting, whether they understand what they're doing or not, because it's all based on lies, right? We're all a bunch of criminals or psychos or crazy people. But what they were able to take away from Montauk as concerning mass mind control is in the 430 to 450 hertz range, okay? It's something that they can affect the subconscious of these individuals to get them to comply, all right, with whatever their agenda is. So all our first responders, all right, with their communications equipment and all that, it operates off of 450 megahertz, I believe. Okay, and what's up with that? Because we all know that the firemen, the cops, these community watch people, all right, they're on the front lines of this gang stalking, folks. Okay, so they're the ones that really are probably being manipulated through the electromagnetic spectrum to get them on board with their way of thinking that okay, this just popped in my head. So there was a doctor, this guy Milgram, and in 1974 he did an experiment where they would have someone tied to a electrical, have electrodes attached to them, and they'd be on one side of say in a laboratory in a room, and then there would be the doctors and another just anybody sitting there, and that person would be told, hey, look, we want you to push this button and electrocute this person because he's a mass murderer, he's a child rapist or whatever. And 9 times out of 10 they discovered that if an authority figure, all right, someone that's to be viewed as a person of importance, an authority figure, they would follow those instructions almost all the time. Okay, now this is what we noticed about the gang stalking, right? They have to start these slander campaigns. And this is what amazes me. These dum-dums in the United States, all over the place. And look, no one wants to be targeted, all right? So how do they get these business owners and all that? Like when you go to a restaurant and you're getting poisoned or this, how do they... Well, look, they tell these people, right, that we're all crazy to get them to comply with their nefarious agenda. So there's that boots on the ground aspect, and then this back to the RNM system. All right, so has anybody seen this thing? Do we know where it's at? All right, well, no. Okay, well, Brian, has anybody talked to Brian? Okay, and look, when he makes these comments, he just copies and pastes. All right. And the first time I've seen him make an actual real comment was a couple days ago on Michael Barden's videos. He made some weird comment, but it wasn't a copy and paste. That's the first time I've seen him do that. And God bless Michael. All right. Look, I don't want to be hard on anybody, but folks, we have to put out good information. All right. Again, your first clue something's not right is when you can't communicate with somebody or they're dodging you. All right. If you're out there claiming that you want to help targeted individuals, well, guess what? If you can't be contacted, or I must, certainly I am, persona non grata for most of the people out there, and what can I do? So I just, like I said, my presentation is what it is. Look, right now I could feel it, my ears pulsating. Anytime I try to do these videos, They're on me. And again, I know it's from these implants. The RNM supercomputer does not, my ears, this and that. It's never happened to me. So it's about modifying your behavior. So, okay, here's some of the when I first start listening to Brian, I put some of these ideas and I put them to task. And the one is, all right, when you're thinking about doing something or going somewhere, do the opposite. And folks, I've done that. And these little pissant gang stalkers, I have them running around in circles. All right? Literally. It's does not a day go by that, one of the things about me too is somehow, whatever they did to me, all right, whatever my deal is, when you look at my pictures, and when I was documenting these gang stalkers a couple years back, I got a shitload of the craziest stuff. If I started getting into all my footage and my pictures, but you see dark energies, you see these like electromagnetic anomalies in these pictures, which very few people can document. So what that tells me is, like I said, the people in my age group are whittled down to a nub. Where are these people 50 and up? They're nowhere to be found, folks. I hate to say that. So, if my only gift to the young men and women out there in the United States, if I had, hundreds of thousands of people listening, is when you're trying to figure out this situation, okay, you first look to your family first, but not by asking questions, because they're not going to give you the answers. Take notes on their behavior. Now again, a lot of you people out there, your immediate family might be okay. It might be someone from your extended family that controls your bloodline. Like I said, a lot of you don't think that this is about the Abrahamic bloodline and wiping them out. Well, it is, folks. All right? So someone that you don't even know may be responsible for your targeting, and you're being led to believe, oh, it's the gang stalker down the street. Oh, it's my ex-girlfriend. All that, yeah, that's taking place. But again, how it all initiated, right? Where it emanated from. All right. So if they can remotely tie us to this supercomputer, and then the supercomputer can, it has to transmit a signal, and you have to receive it, timing and location. All right. How many of you out there have you done that? I mean, this is what one thing that Brian's right. All right. When you're putting your thoughts into action, you're a target. Do the unexpected. All right. We all know that. When they think you're going to turn left, you turn right. All right. This is all simple stuff. And look, anybody that's watched any good TI with good information is going to tell you that. So the RNM captures different brainwave patterns concerning how you respond to the stalking, concerning how you respond to your environment, the workplace harassment, how you respond to your coworkers. We all know that, we've had jobs where you've got people they would love to see you get fired. And here's one of the things that would happen with me when I had the apartment leasing job. All right. And the one girl, all right, whatever her deal was, she would take my files and just move them around into other sections to where I'd have to start over again. Or she probably was just throwing my leases away that I had written up the day before. And then I would go and I'd be like, oh, did you see the John Smith lease? Oh, no, I didn't see it. All right. The gaslighting. Okay. We know all about that. But, again, in those situations, what if this supercomputer, he's telling you that this thing is totally like big brothering you, okay? Watching your every move. And I say, hell no. We're giving these people too much credit. I know for a fact a lot of this stuff comes from the demonic realm. Again, back to all these orbs surrounding me. Anybody, somebody, I saw, what's his face? Randy, the other orb guy on YouTube, just put out a recent video. God bless him. He's trying to wake the people up. But why is that? Why does that occur with some people and not others? All right, does it have to do with the rituals? All right. Well, again, I would like to know where this RNM supercomputer is at. Does Trump know about that? You gotta look at it this way. In the United States right now, almost all the population is blind to this targeting. If you asked President Trump, do you know about this situation in the United States that take me out of the picture, good men and women that never committed a crime, they don't even have a setup to, nothing. Why are they being targeted? It's because, folks, Abrahamic bloodline, whether you're a man or a woman, all right, you've displayed attributes that you think for yourself, and you can't be manipulated by some fucking machine. God dwells in the hearts of men, not machines. Satan wants to turn you all into automatons. Now, I would love to find out where this RNM supercomputer is, because guess what, folks? This is all contingent on the lights staying on. Just, flip the switch on this fucking thing, and then there's no more supercomputer. Right? They have to keep that thing on, or else what? I'm just going over like basic logic here. Now, can they use the Gwen towers, right, to frequency hop and find people? Now, if you look at one of my locations where my safe house is, I'm in the middle of nowhere. All right, they're trying to make inroads, to get next to me. They just recently took over a property 2 down where they're starting to build, and I imagine that they're gonna, set up their equipment in there. And when I'm at that location, if they can torture me there, they will. Because being out there and being away from the electromagnetic soup, I have an easier time. I don't feel electronic harassment up there like I do down in the city area. And there's only one cell tower, which is about, I'd say, 2 miles away from me. So in order for the supercomputer, all right, and plus where I stay at is a solid masonry building, and I have steel rolled cage doors that a lot of times I'll shut most of the way to just have privacy. And if they're trying to, I don't know, beam me or whatever, and I might not be doing anything. All right, look, don't be afraid to try something, find out if it works, to protect yourself. But back to Brian on how he presents his case. Very convincing gentleman. But I think he got compromised, all right, because they were torturing this poor guy. They must have been torturing the shit out of him, all right? Folks, you can't globetrot all over the place and think you're going to somehow shake this gang stalking, this RNM supercomputer, these assholes in the CIA and all that. No. When you see that, that's alarm bells should be going off in your head. That how does this happen, man? Where's all this money coming from? All right, and he's going into places where they could take him out. You're probably, trust me, all right. you're not going to be safe over in Europe, all right? Now, look, some people might tell me, oh, you're not going to be safe in Mexico. Look, they just had a cartel hit yesterday, all right? I was trying to do the swap meet with my friend, and, right, I 2 football fields away, bap, 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 bap. All right, and they had the street shut down all day. It totally messed up my whole day because of these cartel guys gunning it out. Look, if they want to do that to me, I'm sure they could. Why hasn't it happened yet? Is it because they just still want to try to torture me until the bitter end, right? Slow kill, soft kill. See that look, we all want to know the source of our targeting, all right? Why did I get put in MK Ultra? Or were my parents Satanists through and through? Or were they convinced by the powers that be that, and this goes with these other children too, folks, the parents are like, oh, look, we think your child has such, potential and, blah, 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 and we want to, do this and help him. When these Satanists, disgusting little reptoids, want to get their hands on these kids. It's just sick, all right? And then these parents go the rest of their lives playing stupid, all right? And the hope is that you kill yourself and they get to all have their big laugh and collect their insurance, all right? Yeah, all that stuff's true too. Now, I'm getting off track again because I get worked up about this stuff, For those of you that still have your family, you be thankful that you got somebody, okay? But, again, so Brian's globetrotting all over the place, oh, my ear. That never happens to me. I don't see anybody else, I mean, look, I've got these planes every day buzzing around over me, the blue underbelly perp planes, trying to hit me with directed energy. Idiots. It does work sometimes. Sometimes they hit me. I feel the anxiety. You'll maybe sweat. You'll get a headache almost immediately. And sometimes if they really get you a good one, you'll feel like, popcorn in a microwave, man. It's not a good feeling. Trust me. And, one of the reasons why I don't really talk too much about all the crazy shit they do every day is I don't want to give, glory to these gang stalkers. All right? Look, their time's coming. We know that. But, again, wouldn't you guys just love to be able to find this RNM supercomputer and flip the switch on that bitch? Right? Game over. So Brian's in China now, okay? I mean, what, next he's going to show up on fucking Mount Kilimanjaro? I know the RNM's got him there. Look, the Satan and the powers that be would love to have this computer on everybody's ass. And some of us are sensitive, so maybe it is affecting some of us, all right? But here's the point, and I think when I wanted to mention about with MK Ultra, when they look for these children because they vibrate at a higher frequency, all right, there's something to do with that, with the, again, the bloodlines, the Germanic ancestry, the Celts, the Native Americans, something with their intuitiveness, their abilities, psychic abilities, if any. It's has a lot to do with God's natural frequency, which we know Satan wants to change. That's the 5G and all that. Wipe out, right? Here's another thing too, folks. If you're being hit by direct energy, okay, you can certainly, all right, it's called earthing, okay? We know about grounding, all right? You can go to a park, or if you're in a home with a grassy area, it's, right now it's coming summertime back east. But, if you're out west, certainly go to any grassy area and just stand there and ground yourself to the earth and get in tune with the Schumann resonance, okay? Which, has been rising. And again, this just popped in my head. I don't want to be hard on people. I keep hearing, you know, this very nice gentleman, very nice, good-hearted gentleman, saying, "Oh yeah, the Schumann resonance off the charts, 7.8 to 74 hertz." Folks, that doesn't make sense. If that was the case, if that was taking place, everybody on planet Earth would be going nuts. Do you get that? All right? I just, it boggles the mind of what people buy into. Now, look, I know I got my core group of people that tune in, and they're very intelligent people. And this YouTube stuff's getting overwhelming for me because I want to listen to all of you. All right? But it's hard. Like Zeph, man, he pulls off these hour-and-a-half shows, and I love listening to his older stuff. You know, if you're new to this targeting, you know, gotta check in with Zeph on his older stuff, man. He lays it down. And you know, I would love to just sit down with that guy and you know, pick his brain. So, you know, like I said, each of our experiences are unique. He's coming from the Hollywood scene. He's older. You know, when these Satanists were running amok, you know, I think they've, you know, believe it or not, look, we're doing little baby steps to kind of, you know, put the brakes on this transhumanism agenda. And, you know, but again, we got to weed out these frauds on YouTube. Look, if you're taking in bad information and you're in a horrible situation, it's only going to get worse. And that's what they want. All right? These assholes in Europe and DC want to see these targets just, you know, stay miserable. All right? And, you know, I don't have a college degree, but I'm not impressed by all these well-spoken people that have all this education, and they think that the science and all this is what's behind the driving force, and they leave the fact that this supernatural spiritual aspect, you know, is all in our heads. And somehow there's a, you know, a scientific way out of this. All right. Now, how would you shield yourself against a supercomputer? Build a Faraday cage, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This pepper?
No, it's salt.
We have pepper?
No.
Oh.
Hang on, bud. I'll be there in a second. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Build a Faraday cage? All right. For those that you still have money, look, folks. I've always said, be careful where you put your resources into. All right. Yeah. You know, every TI, the goal is to get you broke so you can't fight these assholes. All right. Now, I don't know what else to say about the supercomputer because it doesn't affect me the way it's being presented to all you people on YouTube. All right. Until I actually, you know, that's why I was trying to find Brian in San Diego, man. I was like, look, this guy seems like he's got something figured out. But then I'm watching him, you know, he's in Germany, he's in Argentina, he's in Ecuador. Now he's on, you know, fucking Mount Kilimanjaro. So, yeah, and you know what? Let's just be fair to everybody. All right? The goal is to keep us all apart. How they do that, I don't know. What I do notice is when I make comments on people's channel, and instead of removing my comment, they'll remove the video so it doesn't look like, you know, it's a personal shot against me. But look, again, if you got these anomalies around you, and I know where they're coming from, don't hide this, all right? This is it. We're in the 9th inning, folks. Trust me. And, you know, if we can team up, we can have a good outcome. So may everybody be blessed. I don't mean to be hard on anybody. I respect all of your opinions. I want to learn, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm not gonna put up with the nonsense. All right. I'm gonna end it on this. All right. One of our brothers, okay, who has apparently found a private investigator that's solving all his problems. All right, and he's first target to do this. Magically, there's this PI that has some type of ethics, and he's actually helping this person. Well, you know what? You need to let all of us know who that is so we can keep this guy employed if he's a good guy. I got a strange feeling, though, folks, that that's not the case. But what do I know, right? Anyway, God bless all you. Until we meet again.